Welcome to MSATP TV. I am Giovanni Hawkins, the new Executive Director here at MSATP. Here with me, I have Rob Smith. Rob used to own his own firm. He is currently the head of technical content at Liscio. And Rob has developed a cooperative library. Rob, nice to meet you. I'm excited for our viewers to learn more about the Circle Communities app. So thank you for being here today. We
Absolutely.
also have Barbara Smith, who is MSATP's past president. Hi, Barbara.
Right. And no
All right.
relation between Rob Smith and Barbara Smith. We're just friends.
Yes.
All right, and Rob, we will let you take it away.
Okay. Well, one of the things I want to kind of first talk about is what is the Accountant Bookkeepers Cooperative Library. We're going to be constantly changing the name in the near vicinity, but that's basically what it is. It's a cooperative library, kind of like a community, but so much more, because it's more, instead of more like a community where people come in and will ask questions and give some answers. This is like a library where you're going to be able to go in and check out some really solid content. Because one of the things in the past, I've gone to a lot of conferences, I've seen a lot of webinars, and a lot of them, nothing against them, but they tell you kind of what to do and maybe why you should be doing something, but they don't tell you exactly how to do it. The whole idea of this kind of came from my my son when he was sitting there building. He had this Lego kit, okay, and he built this thing. It looks like a TV. It moves. It's got Mario going across the top. It's unbelievable. And I'm sitting there and I was thinking about back on the day when I had my Legos. I mean, I had a box of Legos. I could barely build a house. If I could get a window in it, I was impressed. And today, because he has a step-by-step instructions and all the materials he needs, he's able to build these wonderful things. So when Chris, my boss at Liscio, asked me to kind of join Liscio and say, Rob, a lot of accountants don't have these best practice workflows. They're so busy working in their business. They don't have time to sit there and really figure out how to use the tools that they use every day. You guys we're just too busy. We don't have time to do it. And then when we do it, we're all doing and learning the same thing. So when I joined Liscio, I'm kind of focused on creating best practice workflows with not just Liscio, but with other software, because you use more than just Liscio. You use Microsoft, you use Google, you use all these other applications. So instead of us all doing the same thing and learning the same thing, what if we had one place where we researched it and brought in other experts and reached out and, as a cooperative library, work together to share best practices and put them into one place. And that's really the spirit and the idea of why this library came to be, is because 80% of everything that we do as accountants is roughly the same, with a 20% distinction. So what we're doing is gathering them step-by-step videos, really geared towards being able to consume it as quickly as possible, because I'm seriously the laziest person you'll ever meet. I do not want to work hard. I don't want to read Shakespeare, okay? Don't tell my English teacher, but I didn't read Shakespeare. I read the Cliff Notes, okay? In college, I didn't go to all my classes. I looked at my roommate's notes and I still got the grades. So that's, even though we're not in school anymore and we're not cheating. So if you're in class, go to class, but now we're not in class anymore. So why not study off the smart person, get one person's notes and start there instead of having everybody recreate the same thing over and over again. That's really the intent of what this community is all about. That's where we're starting from. And that's really the idea, is be able to consume the content as quickly as possible, because if there's a 30-minute video, nobody's going to sit there and watch a 30-minute video. We're going to give an executive summary. We're going to timestamp it. We're going to give you an outline so you can skim the 30-minute video, watch it and see exactly what you want to go to and go right to it and consume just what you need and ignore all the stuff you don't need. Does that make sense?
That's great.
It does. And I love the way you've made it so searchable, so quickly, that you can find what you need by putting in a keyword or key concept and go right to what you need right away. And like you say, we don't have time to watch 30-minute videos. We don't even have time to watch the 30 minutes that we might be talking about this app in this video.
No,
but we'll have a timestamp so that we go right to the spot. That's what I need to know.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So it is going to have a search, and we'll get into it in just a second. Gigi, we're going to actually sign you up and show you how you can actually sign up. But basically right now, and this is a work in process. The library is just a couple months old. I think the main structure is going to be there, but we're going to tweak it as we find out that things don't work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep iterating the process and keep making it better and better and better. And that's really what you should be doing in your practice, that we should be doing in our life. But if you think about a library, there's going to be really, basically about 6 or 7 main sections. Okay. There's going to be an entire section that's focused on your tax department, best practices for your tax department. There's going to be a section for bookkeeping. Okay. Best practices and workflows for your bookkeeping department. Okay. We're going to be talking about technology, what I call core technology. Okay. The core technology of the tool sets that you use each and every day. If you master those and gain efficiencies in those core technologies, it's kind of like the compounding. It's like time compounding. Okay, what would you rather have? A penny that doubles every day or $1 million, right? You'd rather have a penny that doubles every day. So if we can make you faster in Microsoft, all the Microsoft products, okay, all of the 365, there's tools you don't even know about. We're going to teach you about that. Google, your Windows, there's stuff in Windows that there's tips that you can make Windows better. Your mobile phone and even your browser. Most of us don't even have our browser set up efficiently. So if you can go in there and focus on those core technologies and make those a lot more efficient, if you're using those every day, it compounds. And not only that, once you master something, when you master something, guess what somebody who masters a topic can do? They can teach other people. And you can go in there, and once you learn these cool tricks in Microsoft or in Windows or your phone, guess who you can tell that to? Your clients. Okay. And then you're going to be even adding more value up on top of the bookkeeping and audit tax value that are already at. Okay. Because every time I talk to a client, I always give them a bit of technology. That's why they always paid me the extra, because every time they talked to me, they knew they were going to come out of there with more than what they expected. And that's what we're also trying to do, is get you to master the tools that you use every day. Then we're also going to go in there. We're going to do some industry specific stuff. We're going to be talking about firm management, personal productivity, other technologies like Notion and ClickUp. And we're going to bring experts to kind of help with some of that stuff. And then, of course, because Liscio is kind of paying my salary and we're offering this at a really good price, which we'll talk about in just a second. There's going to be an entire section with Liscio. So if you are a Liscio member, this is where you're going to be able to come and learn how to use Liscio and on board, because we're actually using this to kind of help offset our support costs. Instead, because we're growing so fast, we can't hire enough people to support everything. So to provide the best support, we're putting all that content and material into the library so then people can get the education 24/7. Okay.
Great.
So does it sound kind of interesting and unique? You want to hop into it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's show
hop in.
Gigi how to sign up for it.
Yes, because this is the thing. So Gigi, if you could share your screen. And
Okay.
what you're going to do is, first of all, this is an invite only. Okay. This library is not for your clients. This is not for non-accountants, because if we get non-accountants in here, then they're going to be asking goofy questions and questions that are kind of wasting our time. So this is really a specific, members only, invite only. We don't want the general public in here. Okay. We're thinking about possibly creating something for that down the road, but right now it's invite only. So when you get the invite in Maryland, you guys have your own unique invite list. So when you get the link, you're going to click on the link and it's going to take you to this page right here. Okay. And then when you come to this page right here, it's the Accountant Co-op. That name may be changing. Okay. But when you get this, you're going to go in and click sign up with an email. So go ahead and do that. Now you can sign in with Twitter or Facebook if you want. Which is a single sign-on, but in this case right here, you may want to just go in there and put your full name in there, put your email, and then you're going to put a password. And you can also do this on the phone. You can basically do the same thing on your phone, but it works better on the computer. Okay, and then put your password in, and then you're going to click the accept terms and services, and then click sign up. And it's as simple as that. What that's going to do is come in, and then of course it's going to come in and do the boats, which were
Yeah,
basically,
let's see. Can you get all the boats?
yeah, we're actually doing artificial
Yay.
intelligence for Google by doing that. That's actually teaching. That's what actually artificial intelligence is doing, is we're basically doing that. Okay, now with this one right here, this is your profile. Okay. Go ahead and down there, you can either enable the notifications or say no thanks if you don't want it to warn you. Okay. But when you come in here, yeah, there you go. You can come in here, and right now you don't have to do anything, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to upload a photo. So that way people know what you look like, and you can put a face with a name. Down the headline, go in there, for example, underneath the headline right there, put director of MSATP, and that way let everybody know.
MSATP executive director.
Whatever, yes. Yep. And then put that basically in there. So then that way, when somebody comes in and when they see basically what you're, who you are and what you're doing, then, we're going to know that everything. Like, you can put your location, you can put a bio in there, but for now you can skip that. You may want to put a time zone in there. And then down where it says make my email publicly visible, you may want to turn that on or off. That's really up to you. And then I would recommend to show your profile in the member directory. Okay. You can add social links and permissions and stuff like this, but for right now, we can skip that. You can always come back to that later. Okay, so just go ahead and click continue. And that basically brings you into the thing. Now you're going to get a pop-up here, and it says, here's kind of a pop-up right here. Go to the new member checklist. And we're not going to talk a lot about this right here, because what I'm going to do is, I have found this, and this is one thing that we learned, is that this is kind of cumbersome and it takes a while to get through. So we're going to kind of come in and make this a little bit more on-rampy and get you to the action a lot quicker. Okay. So for right now, let's don't talk about the start here and all the different steps. I'm going to make this, it's too much work. And once again, I said, I'm the laziest person you'll ever meet. So how can we make this on board a lot quicker? So on the left-hand side, okay, that's where you're going to come in, and they're called spaces and space groups and spaces, but think of them as wings. So we have a member resources, and I'm going to be, once again, some of the spaces may change a little bit, but at the very top, you got member resources. This is kind of where you could go, just kind of find out about the community and different stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
For one thing I would like to put, access required. Okay, this is one thing. Let's kind of talk about the pricing here, because it's like, okay, what's this going to cost? Let's just get that out of the way. What we're planning to do, okay, with the pricing of this library, is that the training will, for right now, from the nearest, the furthest in the future that I can see. Now this may change, but our plan is to have the basic training free forever. So the training for OneNote, the training for Teams, the training for Google, that basic training is going to be free, because we want a lot of people in here. We want a lot of people contributing, and we want a lot of people giving us a shiny penny. So if we can get one shiny penny from each person, holy moly, then that means there's so much more that we can all share, because taking knowledge doesn't deplete the knowledge. It's just, I want everybody's knowledge. I want everybody's best practice. Everybody give me one workflow. This is going to be amazing. We're going to be able to, like the Amish lifting a barn. We're going to be able to really move some stuff. Now, having said that, the base training is going to be completely free. Now, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Right now, everything's wide open. Okay. Everything's free right now, but there's Excel documents that I have written and put into the community that took me about 40 hours to build. Pretty soon, that's going to go behind a membership wall. There's a lot of the templates that you want to go in there and say, I would like that template. That template may go behind, some of the templates may go behind a membership wall. Okay. And to get membership, there's a couple ways to do it. First of all, if you're a Liscio member, you're going to be able to get access to this and get access to everything. There will probably be some sort of pay if you're not a Liscio member. First of all, become a Liscio member, but if you're not, which I understand, then there will be maybe a payment. Or with other people, we may come in there and, for example, like with Maryland, we may work out a deal with you guys and say your members can come in. Okay, so there's going to be multiple ways that you can get access, a key to that room where all the really cool stuff is going to be locked away. Does that make sense?
Yes, sounds great.
Okay, so then we kind of come down to the tax department. So down inside here, in the tax department wing, we're going to have a section for tax research. We're going to come in here and talk about how do you set up your tax research notebook, tax credits, how can you become more proactive in making sure that you're hitting all the tax credits that you're up. Down there, we have Drake and UltraText. We're going to actually come in and do deep dives and share best practices. There's going to be two kind of pieces of the tax software. Agnostic, just general, doesn't matter what tax software you're using, what's the best workflows for that, but then also very specific. How do you do XYZ in Drake or UltraText or Pro Series, et cetera, et cetera? And we'll add those rooms as we build out the library. But one of the things that I'd like to show you in here, because we've actually talked about this on numerous lunch and learns, is go up to the Microsoft 365 Tax Department Setup if you could. So if you, click on that one right there, and that's going to bring you over here. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, okay, so let's kind of talk about this. On the left-hand side are the wings of the library and kind of the shelves, okay? In the middle is going to be all of the content, whether it's posts by communities or content that we've created. So this middle section is where people are going to be able to talk, and to sit there and add a post or ask a question, all you have to do is go in there and click new post, and then you can ask a question. Or you can respond to one of the other pieces of the library in there. So for example, if you click on set up your teams or channels, go ahead and click on that right there. That will open up that post. This right here is got some information. If you see a hyperlink, you can click on that. It'll take you to another page, okay? Or if you have a question about something, if something doesn't make sense, you can come down there and comment on it or like it. So if you come across something, you know, that you thought, wow, I really learned something here, like it, because what's going to happen is the cream's going to rise to the top, and we're going to be able to sit there and say, hey, these are the most, you know, these are the most liked things. So you may want to go there and check that out. Okay. And on the far right side, because there's going to be a lot of content, one of the first things we're doing, like, I mean, there's a lot of content in here, folks. So what we're doing is on the right-hand side is kind of like the card catalog of all the different topics. So for example, in here, because we've talked about, we've had a lunch and learn on the 1040 tax tracker. We've had I think we've talked about the client dashboard. We've talked about setting up teams. So pretty much all of the different past lunch and learns that we talked about, guess what? Step-by-step instructions are all right here. Okay, so if you go
to the
in
1040 grid workflow, Gigi, and look at that for a second.
So inside here, now each one of these things is going to be a step and to build basically what we talked about. So if you come in there, first of all, you're going to come in and add a default team notebook. You're going to open it up on each person. You're going to set up your sections. You're going to copy the templates. You're going to customize it. So there's your setup. And then we go down there and say, okay, now we're going to use the 1040 data grid. Okay, so you're going to copy it in each folder. You're going to add hyperlinks. You're going to do the basics. Now I've got an advanced one coming. So don't worry about that ones. We're going to be able to deal with the K1s and the big, you know, the big Schedule Ds from like Vanguard and all that other stuff, right? And how to roll it over to next year. Okay, but that right here, so if you go in there and click on 1040 grid basics right there, that takes you to a different page. And then this one right here, and then this is what I was talking about. This is a step-by-step video. When you go in there and watch it, you see how it's all timestamped, so you can get exactly to where you want and everything like that.
So if you only need to know how to add a second W-2, you can click on the 338 and it'll take you right to that spot in the video. Yep. And so I like the way you put related videos or other knowledge you might need. Like I saw OneNote prerequisites on the previous page. That's so cool that you get from place to place quickly. Yep. And that's basically what we're trying to do. So this section right here. So if you come in and if you've seen any of the videos that we talked about in the past, and if you want to start using Microsoft OneNote to really manage your tax department, pretty much does it have everything in here? Is it completely perfect? No, nothing ever is, but it's almost all there. And what's going to be cool about it is click up on the home button real quick. On the very top, on the very far left, click on the home. When you first come in, you're going to kind of come into the home feed. Okay, so the home feed is going to basically be here. So what's going to happen here is that Shannon had a question. Okay, she wanted to basically be able to share a OneNote page with somebody. Okay, now there's two ways you can deal with a post on this home page. Okay, is first of all, if you click on it, if you click the title, what that will do is it'll actually take you to the space. So right now you see where it says back to OneNote. Scroll up a little bit higher, go back up a little bit. So it says back to OneNote. That actually moved you into the OneNote space in the technology area down below. Okay, so you actually left the home area and kind of moved into the OneNote room. Okay, so let's just go back to where you were.
So click back on home again real quick. Now, so if you don't want to leave the home thing, if you want to stay in the home thing, you see where it says see more, right? You see where it says liked by Chris? You see right above there where it says see more?
Yes.
Right there. Go ahead and click see more. That will keep you in the home channel, but expand the whole thing. So what happened here was Shannon had a question. I saw it. So instead of going in there and saying, here's what to do, what I did was I went in and you see where it says answered and all the way down below. Here you go. Here's this. Step 1, step 2, all the way down and completely answered it. And then what I did was I added that to the OneNote FAQ page. So instead of this getting lost like a stream, because most communities, when you have a really good content, it's like so much stuff has gone down the river that nobody's ever going to know about because you have to search about it. So what we're going to do is take the good content and pin it to the side on the right-hand side so we don't lose it. Because how many times have we relearned the same thing over and over again? Well, let's capture that and keep it. So when the next person comes in, it's long gone, it's right there for them to find. And that's what we're trying to do to be a little bit different. Because remember, this is a library. It's more than a community. It's a library where we want to capture this content and keep it there. So that's basically what we did there. And if you scroll back up a little bit, on this note right here, go up a little bit higher, keep going. You see where it says learn more here. So for example, down here, there's really 2 things. One, you can export it and do this thing. It's real fancy. It's kind of cumbersome. And I think this was trying to accomplish what she was trying to basically do, because she was trying to give a really nice template. Okay. And here's the thing. She started using OneNote and started using it. Now she's selling her OneNote templates to people. She's already turned her knowledge of OneNote into money. And that's what we're trying to do. Learn these tools so you can start selling that knowledge like you did with QuickBooks. 15 years ago, QuickBooks was the only, if you do QuickBooks, it was like printing money. Everybody had it, nobody knew it, and everybody needed it. And that's the way 365 is now. If you master 365, you're going to have more business than you can shake a stick at. But if you see where it says learn more,
out, Rob, is the search bar right at the top of the page.
Yep.
So
oh, great.
if we're anywhere, like type in Drake up there and see what that brings up. And right away, it takes you to
go back. Don't hit enter. Don't hit enter. Go back up and type Drake in again. Yeah, don't hit enter.
Okay.
And then just wait. So you have Drake tax deep dive, Drake amended 1040, or Drake tax import. So let's go in there and be like, oh, let's look at the Drake tax deep dive. So go ahead and click on that one. And then this right here is a deep dive that this is basically what we're going to talk about. We're going to get a bunch of people in a room. We're going to kind of talk about what content we have in the library. And we're going to sit there and then say, okay, guys, what are the toughest things to do in Drake? Who has a checklist? Anybody have a checklist they'd like to share? Let's start with that. Any more ideas? Let's throw your ideas out there. Let's take the best of the best and consolidate it, put it back into the community. And together as a group, we can move mountains. When individually, all we can do is move around wheelbarrows.
But it's not just tax department and bookkeeping department. Over on the left side, you have some other areas.
Yeah, let's go. Yep, let's go down. So keep going down further. So next, we've got tax and bookkeeping. We have the technology core. This is what I was talking about earlier, where there's a lot of 365 stuff. Okay, click on 365, Microsoft 365 other. We have Teams, Excel, OneNote, Outlook. But click on Microsoft 365 other. Click on that. Look on the right-hand side over here. Microsoft To Do, Forms, PowerPoint, Sway, Planner, Office 365, Booking, SharePoint, Lists, OneDrive, Microsoft Learn. Look at all these other things that these are tools you're probably paying for that you don't even know about. And once you learn them, you're going to be able to teach your clients how to use them. And it's going to be amazing. Now, for example, if you click on Microsoft, oh, I don't have lists here. Click on lists real quick.
It's near the bottom, right there.
Okay, so inside here, we've got basically we've got some content that are written by other people. We brought in some other content creators that are on the internet that I've actually asked permission. They've allowed us to put their stuff inside here. And I recommend that, go to their websites because there are some amazing people out there. Okay, because this is one of the things that we're trying to do with this is we're trying to come in and be very inviting, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Hospitable.
Well, hospitable, but also very inclusive. There's so many communities out there. We're going to go in there and tell you about other communities, because we're not the only community in town. There's some other communities that are amazing. There's other consultants that are amazing. We want you to know the best of the best. Okay. But for example, if you click on the tax return tracker at the bottom there, this right here is a webinar that may look familiar. Scroll down a little bit, but this is a webinar that we basically did where we talked about, actually this one right here was the step-by-step video on how to implement what Bill and I talked about a couple of months ago. So we actually talked about, and scroll back up a little bit, but you see right there, step-by-step of everything that you basically do. Keep going up a little bit higher. And then click on the watch the demo of the tax return tracker right there. That right there was actually the step-by-step of what Bill and I talked about. Because this right here was actually the video of what we actually talked about in our video. You see, I've got that one timestamped right there.
That's the coolest part, that I don't have to watch the whole 10-minute video. I can watch a demo listing my clients, just that little piece, if that's all I need.
Yep.
Sure. It makes you much more efficient when you have that timestamp there.
Yeah. And then also that way, instead of sitting there and gambling on whether or not you're going to learn anything, you can quickly go through and go, nope, nope, nope. Oh, I want to see that, and go right to it. Okay, so let's continue down the wings on the left-hand side. So underneath the core technology, it just kind of scroll down. We've got you know, Microsoft at the top, Google Workspace, the browsers, Android, iOS mobile, Windows, Mac, iOS, and then reference pages, which is basically, instead of cluttering up some of the other spaces, I'm going to kind of throw reference pages there. But Gigi, do you have an Android or an iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, do you want to learn anything about Android?
No.
Okay, great. So, okay, no, and that's fine. And that's perfectly fine. There's no reason, and that's enough. There's enough stuff for you to learn, right? So here's what's beautiful about this community, okay, is go click on the space group. So technology core is the space group. So go ahead and click on that right up there. That's going to show you all of the spaces inside here, okay? Now here's what you're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to go in there and say, I don't care about Android. So you see where it says leave space? Leave space. And say confirm. Guess what? You won't see any
If we
Androids.
go back over to the technology list.
That's great.
Yeah, you may have to refresh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's already gone.
It's already
It's
gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay, now it appears that you have a Mac, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say shame on you, but that's just me. So, but you don't really care about Windows, do you?
Not much. No.
Then leave the space. There you go. So you can go in there, but keep the Google stuff, because, or the 365 stuff, because yeah, I want you to learn the 365 stuff. But so you can go through it. So you can scroll down. So go down a little bit further, or go back. I'm sorry, go back up to the top of tax. You go back up to tax. Drake and UltraTax. Do you use Drake or UltraTax?
I use neither.
Then you know what? Then let's leave the space. So go to
Right.
tax department. And if you don't care about those, leave the space. So you do not have to look at stuff that does not matter to you. Okay.
That's great.
And then it's going to clean up and shorten your list on the side and give you just what you want to see. And then we have some Liscio stuff where we're going to be doing onboarding best practices, and we're replacing our Facebook group with the Liscio user discussion area. We're going to have firm management. Go down to firm management a little bit. Okay, this is pretty exciting. We've got client experience here. What we're talking about with client experience is how can you look really good in front of your clients. Okay, inside here, we're going to go through there and have best tips on how can you always be adding value and really, and so some of these rooms are a little bit bare right now, but stuff's coming soon. Okay, click on sales, for example. We've got somebody who's put a bunch of videos in here. There's a ton of videos. Like, for example, click on how to ask for testimonials. Michelle Weinstein's got some great videos. Once again, she had a 15-minute video. I'm not going to make you watch a 15-minute video. So guess what we did? We outlined it, bullet point. Not only did we give you timestamps, we bullet pointed and created an outline for you so you can see exactly what she's talking about.
That's so cool. I just love it the way you help me to focus on what I need to know.
Yeah, and that's because at the end of the day, none of us have 15 minutes to just gamble away on maybe learning one point. So what I'm allowing you to do is to consume this as quickly as possible. Now, let me show you about some of the stuff that's out of the box to save time. Just click on the templates real quick on the far right side. Okay, so here, now, how many times have we got a PDF that says, here's some great questions, for, if you're getting a new client, here's some questions you should use in a questionnaire, right? And it's on a PDF. So what do we then have to do? We have to go in there, take that, type it up, put it into go to SurveyMonkey, fill it in a SurveyMonkey, do all this other stuff, right? It's crazy. We'll click on this right here. Let me show you what I mean by I'm lazy. Okay, so, and if I'm lazy, I'm going to treat you guys as lazy too. Okay, so here's all the questions. These are some great questions that Michelle put out there, okay? So you have to go in there and fill that up. How long would that take you to turn that into a workable form?
10 minutes,
Couple
10,
of
15
hours.
minutes.
Yeah,
You're faster
okay.
than me.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guess I'm going to say you can do it in 30 seconds.
I'm going to say 4 days.
Okay, you see where it says link to questionnaire that you can duplicate and customize? Click that right there.
Woohoo!
Here is a form. You see where it says duplicate at the very top upper right? You click duplicate that, it will copy. If you're logged into 365, it will copy that form into your 365 tenant that you can then tweak and make your own. So if you like the questions, duplicate it and share it and send it within 30 seconds. Or you can go in there and tweak it and make it your own. Because guess what? We're not all 100% the same. You're not going to like every single question.
Right.
But this right here is out of the box. This is what I'm talking about, the Lego kit. I'm giving you everything you need to be able to do it as quickly as possible.
Wow.
And customize it, which is great.
Yeah, that's the thing. I hate PDFs because you can't customize a PDF.
Nope.
So let's take this and be able to sit there and make it your own. We're going to give you 80%, and then you add your 20% uniqueness, and that's what we're doing. Okay, scroll down a little bit further. Let's see what else we have down here. I can't remember on the left-hand
On
side.
the left.
So we have firm management. Yeah, keep going. We got firm management, balance. Okay, go to lifelong learning section under this one right here. This is an area where we're going to go in here. We're going to have book clubs, podcasts, and then click on ideas to think about. This is where we're going to basically say, look, these are some things that we want you to think about. For example, something called, a lot of what we're doing inside here is 5S methodology. And if you don't know what that means, come watch, come take a look at this. But basically it means get your workplace in order, get everything in working condition, update everything, make sure your core workspace is as clean as efficient as possible. It's a Japanese just-in-time methodology. And that's what we're trying to do with get your workspace cleaned up, and then, we've got stuff in there with change. And then really the theory of what we're trying to do with both what I've always done with OneNote and 365 and the way we're kind of positioning Liscio is there's this quote, we're drowning information, but starve for knowledge. And I think for most people that resonates. And that quote is 40 years old. Okay. I mean, it's for 40 years, for 4 decades, we've been struggling with drowning information, but starve for knowledge. And I'm assuming, Gigi, you're probably not even 40 years old. Okay. No. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. But yeah, so we've been struggling with this. You've never had a day where you didn't live without documents. And when documents actually entered our world, that's when we became disorganized. Because if you think about any topic in life, the information about that topic is in how many different documents? It's in 5 emails, it's in these PDFs, it's in this Word file, it's over here. We have taken and split up and scattered information about one topic in multiple documents. And we've been, for 4 decades, we've been focused on trying to manage documents. And it hasn't worked for 40 years. So guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So let's think of something different. I'm seriously the most disorganized person you'll ever meet. But about 6 years ago, I started focusing on organizing information and extracting information from the documents and throwing the document away, touching a document once, It's like an Amazon box. Do you keep the stuff in the box that it came in Amazon? No, you take it out of the box and throw the box away. So that's the theory of what we're trying to basically do here at Liscio, is to teach you how to start focusing on organizing information instead of trying to manage documents. And if you start doing that, your life will change, guaranteed. But that's basically what we're doing here. Scroll down a little bit further, and I think that pretty much takes us to, and there's a couple more areas in here. Other technology, we're gonna have experts talking about Notion, ClickUp, Carbon, stuff like that. These are just some examples. Some of them are empty, but we're talking to people and we're gonna get a bunch more information here. We're gonna get into specific stuff. And then down at the bottom, additional help, we're gonna be talking about other communities, other consultants, other creators and associations. So then that way, to me, we want everybody to know what's out there, because we're not gonna have everything, and we're gonna point you in the direction of what, if we don't basically have it, it's kind of like gimbals, or, Miracle on 34th Street. If we don't have it, we're going to tell you where to go to get it. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that, you get the information that you need.
Now, what if I read something in here, Rob, and it just doesn't work? Like, I was reading some instruction, I don't know, a week ago, and it said, click on the member's name. And I thought I did that. And then, but what I was doing was selecting the member, not clicking on it. What if I don't understand it? What do I do?
Okay, well, go scroll back up again real quick. Let's go back up to the OneNote section. Let's go back up to just OneNote. Click on right under technology core, go back down a little bit more, go to OneNote. So on the right-hand side here, if you really want to learn OneNote, click on OneNote Setup. This right here is the 12 steps. This is worth the price of admission right here. This took me about 6 years to basically develop, but this right here is the 12 steps you need to do to truly set up OneNote properly on your computer. And then if you click on Learn OneNote, right up on the far right-hand side, click on Learn OneNote. This right here is pretty much, you watch these videos, you're going to know OneNote inside and out. Okay, but click on one of those search bar, doesn't matter which one, just click on one of them. That one's perfect. Yeah, that's good. So let's say, Barbara, you're watching this video and something's just not making sense. I didn't, and it's not your fault. It's probably my fault for not explaining it well enough. Okay. But what you can do is come down here, scroll down to the bottom. So if you're ever on a post or a page, come in here, and underneath what your thoughts, just push your question there. And what you can do is if nobody comes in and answers it, okay, I can only do so much in here. So I can't guarantee that I'm going to answer every question. I'm going to try to as much as I possible, but there's only one of me. But if you come in there, you can go in there and just type your question in. Hopefully, because this is cooperative, another member will answer. Okay, that's the goal. But if nobody answers it and you really want an answer, you can always go in there and just @ somebody. So go in there and go @ the @ sign, and then community, type in community. Okay, boom, there you go. So you can add any person, you can add Barbara, or you can add me, or let's go back and don't bug me. Let's bug Barbara. Just so go in there and just delete
Since
that.
she asked the stupid question.
Yes. So @ Barbara, there you go. So you can go in there @ Barbara. She'll get dinged and say, hey, Barbara, what's it about this? But you can either so if you have a question and it's not getting answered, you can do the community manager, which is me, or Rob Smith, which is also me. I've got 2 users in here. But basically that's what you can do. So if something's not clear, then what we're going to do is come in here. And if it's not clear, I'm just going to come in and change the post. So next time when the next person comes in, hopefully it's a little bit more clear, and we'll just keep tweaking it and making it better. So, I would say is you don't really want to be in it now. A year from now, it's going to be 10 times better, but you might as well get in now, because you're never going to learn everything. There's so much content there. You better start learning now, because if you don't start now, you're never going to, because there's a lot of content in there. Yeah. But what's exciting, tomorrow, there's going to be more. And a year from now, there's going to be oodles more.
So how do I find out if my best friend is signed up for this?
Okay, go in there, just go to search and type their name. So go in there and type in Patty.
Ah, there she is. Yep.
Yep, go in there and click on it. You see where it says user, and then just click OK. There you go.
Cool. That's cool. And then I guess over on the left
and-
side, there's members, so I could see everybody that's in there, right?
That's exactly right. And let's do this. Go in the upper right-hand corner. You see where there's like the little chat button? Click on this. There's also private chats. So you can do a private one-on-one chat. So you can come in there and just say to Barbara, let's go in there and just, why don't you just text Barbara here? Go in there, type her name in and say, whatever, hello, hey, how you doing? Okay. And then click send. And then Barbara should get a message. And you can also do group texts. So you can actually have a little private chat amongst you with different people and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to get back, just click in the upper left-hand corner, click Cooperative Accountant Co-op, and that name may change. We're trying to come up with more of a generic name, you know, that's more, you know, that we'll have to explain, but hopefully then when you hear it, you'll understand what it means. But that's basically the kind of the nutshell. And now there is a mobile app that you can download and access it. It's tough to see the stuff on the right. So it's tough to see the shelves on the right. You can go through and see the stuff there. But there is a mobile app. And really, and what we're going to be doing is right now, it's kind of the contents on the shelves. It's a little bit hard to find initially. We're making better roadmaps. We're organizing it better. And then when we start doing the deep dives, we'll be explaining that section for you. But for now, come in, poke around. There's a lot of content. Teams
And the mobile app looks like this. It's a blue circle with a C. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, and if you go scroll up a little bit, if you scroll up a little bit, go to start here. There is a section in there. We didn't cover this, but there will be. I will definitely have a section. Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. You see where it says
the mobile app.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Click the orange button there. That basically shows you what the mobile app looks like. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be changed a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit easier and everything like that. But under the start here, basically where that, and then underneath events, if you click on events, this is where we're going to start posting, because pretty soon we're going to be having deep dives. The tax deep dive seems pretty popular. The Edge deep dive, shockingly, is I think people are struggling with Edge. So we're going to come in and teach you how to set up Edge properly and why you should be using multiple profiles and et cetera, et cetera. But that's basically in a nutshell. That right there is kind of a quick tour of the library, and hopefully you understand why we're building it and what benefits you guys are going to get out of it as accounting professionals. But yeah, any other questions, any concerns, anything that you didn't like, you know, and if you don't like something, please let me know, because if you don't like something, if something's not clear, then that means it's not clear for somebody else. That means it's not right. So we'll make it better.
Well, Rob, I think this is a great tool that our members will definitely find very valuable and a great resource when it comes to learning new technology and just making them more efficient in their practice. So yeah, I think it's lovely. I think it's great.
Yeah, and then basically what we're going to do is some entities, whether you guys want to do this or not, it's basically up to you. But we'll probably have different spaces. So for example, down below, in theory, we could, and this is, we still got to talk about this, but there'll be maybe a space down there that says MSATP, where you guys, it's kind of like giving you guys a private room in the library where just your members can come in and just chat amongst yourselves. Then that way you're not worried about other people or anything like that. And you can even come in and kind of come in, have your own class, talk about something, and then use the material inside the library. You don't even have to leave the library. You can have your own OneNote class just for your members in there, and all the content's right there. And you just basically log into one app.
That would be awesome.
And what is cool is that you probably will join other communities. Okay, so for example, there's a lot of other communities sitting out there. And if you click on other communities right there, down at the bottom, here's just some of the ones we've started. Now there's a lot of other ones basically in there that you're going to basically find out about. These are just, roundtable apps. I know that Richard is basically using Circle. So if you were to join his community, okay, once you're in Circle, you logged in, you can actually flip between communities just like that. So, and that way you don't even have to leave Circle. You're just, first you're in this community, you're in the library, and then you go over to Richard's
that is-
Roundtable Labs community. But yeah, these are just the ones that we've started, but we're going to be adding more and more as we come across them, because at the end of the day, you know, the world's big enough there's enough work for all of us, and we need to just work smarter and not harder, and help everybody out, because I don't think too many of us are looking for work, and there's only going to be more and more work coming down the pike as people retire and everything like that. So we need to sharpen our skills. We need to make our workflows as efficient as possible, because if you don't, you know, I don't know about you, but as I get older and older, I'm not able to stay as up, you know, and have as much energy as I did last year. So we need to start working smarter and not harder.
Well, this is just fabulous. I'm so excited by all the cool information you're sharing with us.
Yeah, no, I was really, when Chris said he wanted to come in and at the end of the day, this really comes back to Chris's vision of especially for the free part, because he knows that the free portion of it truly is a social good. Chris wants to lift the entire accounting community up, and really everybody at Liscio. But Chris hooked me. I've worked for myself for 28 years, and I came on board with Liscio, worked for somebody else, because when he said he wanted to lift the entire accounting community up and help them, I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. And I'm like, if I can be part of that, then this is great. And it's so much more than me. I'm just one piece of the puzzle here. There's so many other people that are going to be contributing and sharing their knowledge, and everybody giving their shiny penny, and together, if we can work together, I think we can really move mountains. And that's what I'm really excited about, is how, because every time I go in there, I'll say something, somebody else will come in and add to it, and it just makes it better. And then the back and forth is what really makes everything so much better than we could ever imagine doing it alone.
I love your concept of give a little, get a lot. And I also loved at the conference, we had golden tickets. This was your golden ticket. So that's a great idea to spread the wealth of this knowledge.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, so you're going to have the, I think we've given you guys the invite, you know, for Maryland, you know, for MSATP, you got your own unique invite list. We'll be able to see how many people you guys actually bring in. I'm excited about that. I talked to a number of members last week in Vegas, you know, and Jennifer Allen, you know, for one of them. And it's the cost. You'll double your money back if you're not impressed. Okay, well, it's free, so double of zero. You know, it's kind of like when I was Vegas, when I was coming back, I went and watched a mime called Tape Face. I'd watched it with the kids in America's Got Talent, and I sat there and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm, you know, I'd seen some of his YouTube videos or whatever, but now I'm listening to his podcast. It took a while for my kids to realize that a mime really wouldn't have a podcast. And they, oh, Dad! I'm like, I guess it's a dad joke. But anyway, but that's basically right here. I'm looking forward to you guys getting in, you know, and then adding content. If there's something you'd like to share, please post it, and don't worry about the format. If the format is, I may go in there and adjust the format. Don't be, you know, I'm just trying to make everything as clean and as digestible and consumable as possible. So we can all.
I think it's important. I'm always surprised at the questions that I'm hesitant to ask, because I think they're stupid questions.
There's no stupid question.
At some point I say, well, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should just ask a couple of people. And then everybody comes back with, wow, that's a great question. I've always wondered that too. And it's like, wow, why didn't I ask that sooner? So don't be afraid to show a little bit of uncertainty or unsureness in yourself. Post a question. And
you better yet post an answer. Or if you've got something you're proud of, please share it. Because if you took value out, put some value back in. And if we all give a shiny penny, wow, it'll be amazing.
Millions and millions.
Yep.
That'll be amazing.
Okay.
Well, great.
Okay. anything else, or is that pretty much?
I
good
think
to
we've covered just about everything. This was delightful.
Well, guys, it's once again,
Very
it's been
exciting.
yes, once again, it's been great talking to you guys. Gigi, I look, I'm assuming someday we'll meet face to face, but it's great meeting you.
You too.
It's a great group of people that you're working with, so you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to work with them as well, and excited about this app. This is a great cooperative library, and I'm excited for our members to start using it and becoming more aware of it. Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. And then once
Thanks,
again, if
Rob.
you have questions, reach out.
Will do.
Oh.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye.